Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Andor. Now this is episode 11, and I believe there are only 12 episodes, I think. Might be 16, I can't remember to save my life. But anyway, this was 100% episode 11. And in this we get to see the aftermath of many characters. First off, we're going to talk about Cassian. So Cassian was able to escape with that other man that we saw once on his floor, or a couple of times, I should say. And then the two of them were trying to hide from the Empire, climbing mountains to get away from them, and they were just dirty, run down, dry, and everything. So the first thing they tried to do is one, not be spotted by the Empire. They were successful in that front. And the second one, they were trying to steal a ship from what looked like locals, but it was unclear. I would imagine that they probably weren't, since they had a ship, but who knows? They get captured by them, and they get threatened to be killed and or being sent to the Empire. Um, Although they decided against it, they let them free and asked where they wanted to go. Cassian told them where he wanted to go, and then he wanted to send a message. Um, and he goes to send a message to his home planet. Now, what he finds out, though, is the fact that his mother is dead. Which was very heartbreaking for him, and it was not a pleasant experience, which I can imagine. That being said, we have on his home planet everyone getting ready for the funeral of his mother. They apparently on their planet they burn them to an ash, and then they use the ash to be turned into a brick, and then they put that brick in a wall. Apparently, that's a tradition, which is beyond me. Sorry. It doesn't, not my cup of tea, but hey, to each their own, I guess. So they move on to that, and the whole idea is the robot's really sad that the mother is gone, and he really doesn't want to be alone. We also have the ex-girlfriend of Cassian still being tortured, and she refuses to give any information. Although her body language suggests that she does know the guy that hired Cassian. Although that being said, she doesn't actually say it, but body language made it seem, and the way she reacted was very. It wasn't obvious, but it could have been detected that oh, she does know it. While the entire empire was trying to make sure that they keep watch on the funeral, so they allow the funeral to happen because they're hoping that Cassian comes out of hiding. What they didn't know was obviously they had Cassian in prison and they had no idea. Um, we also find out that they have many spies on the planet looking around trying to figure out what's going on. We also know that one of the women from the mission, is also on planet looking for the same person to get rid of any loose ends. Um, that being said, then we have the one who actually hired um, Cassian, who he goes to see his old friend, played by Forrest Whitaker, and he basically explains to him that maybe you shouldn't be going to help your friend. And he's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because the Empire already knows. Well, shouldn't we warn him?" No, I don't think we should. And so they have this little bit of back and forth fighting and everything else, basically stating that the best bet for us, or for the rebellion, is the fact that they let all those men die because that way the Empire thinks that there are no leaks in their office and they're able to still get information needed. So that being said, they continue to do so. They lead to a whole spy thing and everything else, and they basically try to threaten to kill each other, which was just wonderful. Um, and then what happens is he goes to leave and everything else, and he gets stopped by Imperial ship. So he basically goes on the defensive and breaks out and flies away as fast as he can to get back home. He also so he also has an encrypted talk with his assistant, and the way they talk, it's unclear of exactly what they're talking about, but it sounds like they're talking about Cassian's mother's funeral. although it is unclear because they are using code, it could be a many number of things. So I'll be interested to see um, what that conversation actually leads to, because it is unclear. I mean, I would assume or expect that it has something to do with Cassian's mother's funeral, but it is still unclear. So then we'll move on to the senator. So the senator's sister goes to talk to the one who hired Cassian's shop, and she goes in looking for him, and the woman is basically like, "Yeah, are you here looking for something for your sister?" And she's trying to play the persona, and the sister's basically just like, no. Vel's just like, no, I need to talk to him now because I need to let him know what's going on, and that is of the utmost importance. And she explains to her that it's Cassian's mother and she's dead. So they definitely are wanting to find Cassian, but it's unclear on exactly what they want to do. But I'll be curious. So that being said, that goes on. She goes then to visit her sister, who is the senator, and the senator is just depressed. She's watching her daughter go into, like, I would imagine is like the tradition of her home planet, and her sister is just like, ugh, and the senator is just not happy about it either. And she basically explains to her sister that everything's going awful, and that everything just seems to get worse and worse and worse around her, and she doesn't know how long she can deal with this anymore. Apparently, the money situation is worse than she thought, and um, it sounds like the senator is leaning more towards um, pretty much but having an arranged marriage with her daughter with the sleazy guy's son. Although it is not specifically talked about, it is definitely she's definitely considering it more so than she was in the last episode because of everything going on. So overall, this episode was a lot of like information. Um, oh, and I'm sorry. And then we also have the head commander who was the security guard on the planet of Cassian was living on, who had been removed and all this stuff, and now has a job at the Empire as informational gatherer. Or data entry, sorry, data entry, I believe. He gets a message from his former coworker basically stating, hey, Cassian's mother's dead, and most likely he's going to be there. And so I would assume that he's going to go there, although it's not specific that he says he's going to. At the very least, he's going to let the Empire know, even though they already know. So it's definitely going to be interesting. The episodes are really messing with me, so I have no idea what's going to really truly happen next. And it's because of that. I one am very excited about it, but two, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure what's going to happen. Um, okay, so there is 12 episodes. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be 12 episodes. Um, and I'm not confident in in where they're gonna go because there is just one episode left. So there's got to be some sort of cliffhangers. Um, and just very curious at um where it's gonna go, and just confused at all this stuff because it's frankly just a lot going on. And there's got to be some sort of either cliffhanger or the fact that we find out more about how it's connected to Rebels in the sense of like him growing the Empire. So definitely interested to see where that goes. But for now, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens, which stinks, but is also true. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Please let me know. And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.